Hello, my name is Josh Allen and my game is called Speedy Jumper 2. The genre for this game is a parkour adventure game. The platform the game was made for was a smartphone, iPhone or Android, or this game could also probably be played on last gen technology, PS3, Xbox 360 or PCs. The target audience was from the ages of 11 to 15 up for the parkour adventure genre because in my research that I did, people in this age range were interested in this type of game. Also because there were a lot of friendly colours like red or purple and blue, but also it had a weapon in it that shoots bullets, also that's why it goes up to 15. I did research that shows that my target audience is suitable for this game because from questionnaires I found that the people in this age range were more interested about this game. The game meets the requirements of the age range because it creates a friendly environment for the gamer when they are at the younger side of the age range, but also creates a deadly hunter feel for the older side of the age range. I chose this platform because there aren't many controls to use and you can't have many when working with smartphones. The game's graphics aren't the best because there are still glitches and the corners aren't smoothed off on all the objects that are in the game. Also, there aren't many polygons in the game, so the game won't be slow on the smartphone and it will be as smooth as possible, and moreover, the game won't need much screen resolution as the big game made for a PS4 or Xbox One. In the development process, I learned a lot about Blender and how to work Blender game engine. I learned how to work the logic brick sequence and how to animate and also make a working gun. The main mistakes I made were not being able to make a character, so it had to do the game as a first-person shooter and also not actually finishing the game completely. I solved a few of my mistakes by watching tutorials on YouTube and also tutorials that my teacher had made for us. The findings I made about my beta testing were that my game was fun but very glitchy. Everyone who played my game thought it was a good game even though I didn't finish it because it was fun and enjoyable to play, and mostly everyone who tried my game said it, and I quote, "It had very good music." The findings I made about my alpha testing were that most of the game was glitch and faulty. I tested many of my items in my game and anything that was faulty I tried to fix. Some of the items I tested were the walls in my game to see if my character glitches straight through them or did my character get rebounded away from the wall. I tested the parkour jumps in my game to see if they were at an easy distance to jump to or a hard distance to jump to. Another item I tested was the gun to see if it worked shots properly, and to see if the bullets didn't glitch out in the gun barrel. One more item I tested were all the houses because they all count as one because they're all the same. I made the house and duplicated it twice to have 3 houses, one for each section of my game. I checked to see if the ramps work properly and don't glitch out and stop me from going up the stairs. Hi, I'm Josh Allen and this is my game Speedy Jumper 2. I haven't got a menu for the game because I didn't really get around to making it. Spacebar to jump, so you can't really see it that much, but it's a little jump. It's WASD to move forward, back, left and right, like W to move forward, S to move back, A to rotate left and D to rotate right. You left click to shoot the weapon, and left shift is to sprint forward. The objective of the game is just to literally get across these 3 sectors to all the houses. And then just cut straight through because it's just easy. stuck down. Back to the game glitches. My overlaps to colours, that's why the floor is a bit meh, a bit glitchy. And then when I come to the house and I walk up the ramps, sometimes get stuck like this, and then I have to like wiggle your way through. Can't do. Go. And this is the top of the house, the second floor side. Probably like, I was going to add a few different bosses at the houses, so then after you killed the final one, it was like going to like magically be a portal in the middle centre that you just enter, and then you just enter the second level. I started by making just a plain cube because I didn't have a character idea and it's a first person shooter, so there was really no point in making a character. So it's just a plain cube, and then for the logic sequences, scroller, I had four keyboard sensors for forward, back, left and right, and 4 motion sensors for forward, back, left and right, all on the y-axis for on the location line, all at 0.6. So then, no, the speed forward one was 0.6, and you had to walk in space, and the back was at minus 0.3, so then you're going back at half the speed of walking because you can't go back as fast as you're going forward. And then left is on the rotation z-axis, so I put 3 for left because it has to be positive for the left, and then it has to be a minus to go right, so I put -3. For sprint, I've added 2 on the y-axis of the location line so it's like you're sprinting, and then that's another keyboard sensor, and then another keyboard sensor for jump, which is spacebar, and I put that on, I've had that on linear velocity and 15, so you jump about the normal height as you would as a real person. And then I've had 2 another collision sensor, sorry, for the jump stop, so you can't jump more than once, so it's more realistic. And I've added that onto the keyboard sensor for the normal jump, so it sort of like stays and it doesn't overlap. And then I've had 2 more keyboard sensors for the cameras, but one of the cameras I deleted because I wanted to keep it as a first person shooter. And I've added a scene actuator for the camera. For the empty, I've added a mouse sensor for the left button, so when I click it, it shoots. I had the empty paired it up with a little ball that I made as a bullet in a different state, so it's just, you can't see it at the moment because I'm too far out, because my game world is pretty big. And then on the camera, paired the camera with the body of the guy who travels about, so it stays within acts, like right in front of them, so it's like a realistic first person shooter. And then just go over here for the houses. Every single house is the same, it's just I made one that duplicated it, so you know, so it's just easier for me. And then I just be like, there's no more glitches in it, but there is glitches in it. And then I made different platforms, like this middle one here, base, and then these 3 out here are all the same, just duplicated and turned to a different rotation, and all the parkour jumps are all the same, just different, rotated differently. and then the water is just plain blue sheet of flattened down cuboid. I've created the pink platform, so it's a kind of a friendly environment colour, so like people from a younger age can play it, and I made it so it looks like there's mountains in the background, so it's like a long distance shot. It helps make the game look bigger because it looks like there's mountains in the background and to the right and to the left over here. But when you get closer up to them, it's just the platforms that you're able to do the parkour jumps on. So that's to be able to get to all the different sectors of the game and to the different horses. Would have added different enemies in the game, so they would have chased you about and you would have had to kill them, because this gun is pretty pointless at the moment because there isn't any enemies in the game to shoot and kill. And I would have added like more sectors to the game part in this where you start off, so it would have been more adventurous, and would have been like a couple more levels, so it was more enjoyable and more fun. And so for the player who's playing, and yeah, cheers for watching my game review. Bye.